to join us tonight. And he is nationally known for getting citizens registered to vote. And let's emphasize citizens. Just to give you insight, when I say he's nationally known, he posted our Pints and Politics, and I believe the last time we looked, there was 3,400 likes for our Pints and Politics tonight. So it's pretty amazing. Certainly an indication of his following. His effort this year in particular is critical. And we need to make sure that we do get everyone registered and to get out the vote, to beat those that we know, as this group knows, that will be trying to cheat. And we want President Trump to win to save our country. So he also has an organization that is his own. It's Early Vote Action. This is how he travels. This funds his ability to travel around the United States. So if you'd like to donate there, or I have an envelope I'll be passing around. We'll start over here, and if it can just make its way around if you'd like to donate, because this will help him in getting around through all of the states to help people get registered. We have a short period of time left, and he's the face of getting people registered. So I would like to have you join me tonight to welcome Scott Presler.
Well, hello, Kane. Oh, that's really good, isn't it? I'm gonna have to tone it down a little. Hello, Kane County. Come on, it's an election year. We're gonna re-elect President Trump. Hello, Kane County. Well, I'm so sorry for dressing down. I've gotten a little thick lately and nothing fits me anymore. So just bear with me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Scott Presler. I am the son of a retired Navy captain. I am that long-haired Eagle Scout. And in 2021, I was humbled to receive the Ronald Reagan Award for Freedom at CPAC. But how did I get started? And thank you. I want to thank President Obama. No, I'm serious. The night that he was reelected in 2012, I created my Twitter account that night because I was irate. But I wasn't just mad at President Obama. I was ultimately mad at myself. I said, Scott, where were you knocking on doors? Where were you registering voters? Where were you getting out the vote? And I realized my inaction meant that I was a part of the problem and not the solution. Now, I'm wearing my great cowboy boots here in the great state of Illinois because my first job was helping to elect now Governor Greg Abbott of the great state of Texas. I never wanted Hillary Clinton to set foot in that White House ever again. And we delivered in 2016, electing Donald J. Trump as the 45th president of the United States. But it was Trump that forever changed my life. Do you guys remember when he brought attention to the city of Baltimore, Maryland? And he had kind of some choice words talking about the city. Well, I thought to myself, I was reminded of the same inaction that I felt in 2012. And I pointed the finger back and I said, you know what? Everyone's talking about the problem. Why don't we do something about it? And so, thank you. With 200 volunteers, we organized on a Monday, and we picked up 12 tons of trash in 12 hours in one single day in the most dangerous streets of America. I went home to my mat. I was so excited. I was like, Ma, I am so good at picking up trash. And her heart swelled with pride and admiration. But more importantly, I thought to myself, guys, this is why I'm a Republican. Because I believe that concerned citizens coming together in an act of good could do better than the government ever could. And more importantly, I thought, wait a second, what is limiting me to Baltimore? Why don't we do this everywhere, all over the country? And so we did. We organized trash cleanups in Atlanta, Austin, Baltimore, Chicago, Denver, Duquesne, Detroit, Houston, Kenosha, Los Angeles, Miami, Milwaukee, Nashville, Portland, Pittsburgh, Philly, Salem! And I was protested for picking up trash. Any guesses where I was protested? San Francisco, California. Bless their hearts. Do you guys don't know what that means? Some people don't. I didn't when I first moved to Texas. And when I first moved there, it was getting real hot. And I'm talking to all my new friends, and I'm going, guys, I'm sweltering. They all kind of cock their head, look at me, and say, bless your heart. I called up my ma. I was so excited. I was like, Ma, I love Texas. Everyone's so nice. They're all blessing my heart. Come to find out, it's a real nice southern way of saying, you're dumb as heck. But you're cute. So 2020 happens, and it's soul-crushing. Soul-crushing. We all know what happened. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to spend the next 2 years of my life doing everything in my power to stop Joe Biden from having control of Congress, to stop him from passing reckless and dangerous legislation. And didn't we have everything working for us? You had, and I'm not saying in a good way, I'm saying you had Putin invade Ukraine that we didn't have under President Trump. You had inflation that everything was cast in, sky-high prices at the supermarket and the gas stations. And then you have the crisis of the border that, our czar, Kamala Harris, our border czar, whatever that means. And so, you know what I heard from Republicans? They said, Scat, we're going to have a red tsunami. I said, Scat, we're going to have a red wave. And you know what? I hate to say it. I think complacency, I think it bit us in the behinds. And I think that we didn't work as hard as we could have. And you know what? Look at what happened in Arizona. Who should be governor today? Who should be senator today? Blake Masters. Who should be attorney general today? Blake Hamade. And so that was the impetus, the fact that we didn't have a red wave. I went, guys, something's got to change. 2024 is too important. We can't make the same mistakes that we did in 2022. And that's why I launched my organization called Early Vote Action, earlyvoteaction.com. Now, I'm not here to cause a fight. I'm not here to be confrontational with you guys, but let's talk about what happened in November of 2022, and let's talk about why we can't ever let that happen again. I just mentioned Arizona to you. What happened? Are you taking a photo? Okay, good. I just don't want my mouth open in the photo, okay? I have to look cute. I'm single. And so, what happened in the great state 48 on election day? Can anyone tell me?
You ran out of paper.
Well, and 60% of machines had errors on what day, y'all? Election day. Then, what you're talking about, the paper, Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, a formerly blue county that is now flipping to red. So wouldn't you know it that in 2022, what happened to Luzerne County, Pennsylvania? They ran out of paper ballots. On what day? Then you've got Nevada. And oh my gosh, we are making serious strides in Nevada with our voter registration. And there's this place called Washoe County where we have Reno. Because Republicans, I don't know why, we like to live in the mountains. We're mountain folk. And so it snowed in Washoe County in Reno, guys, on what day? So, and I get it. I listen to you guys. Trust me. I listen to you guys. Scat, I want one day, one vote, one paper ballot. I hear that. I respect that. But this election is too important that we're going to allow the Democrats to have 50 days of early voting in Pennsylvania? 50! And we are only going to vote for 13 hours? That is not a level playing field. And imagine, what if all of our good Republicans go to vote for President Donald Trump on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, and it snows, and it rains, and they run out of paper ballots, and the election machines go down, and a pipe bursts in Georgia, and anything, it's the Democrats. That's Pritzker. Wait, what did I say? Did I call him a prick? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pardon me. You didn't realize I got jokes. I got jokes. And so my concern, guys, is I want to win, and I see so much potential across the country, and I don't want to allow the Democrats to eke by with these wins because of malfunctions, because something went wrong, because of precipitation. And think about it for a second. Let's talk about demographics that we're focusing on and why this is so important. I want to talk about Pennsylvania for a second. And I know I'm in Illinois. I know where I am, unlike Joe Biden. Bless his heart. I think I used that correctly. Let's talk Pennsylvania, because I hear all the time, they go, Scott, they cheated in 2020, we can't win. Let me talk to you about why I'm more confident than ever that we can win. Let's go over numbers. I'm a numbers guy, I'm a data guy. Pennsylvania, Joe Biden won by 80,000, and I use that word loosely. I'm quoting, guys, I'm quoting. He won by 80,000 votes. Let's go with demographics. Get this. In Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and New York, and North Carolina, and Virginia, we have a beautiful population called the Amish people. And those people are baby-making machines. They have doubled their population twice in the last century alone. Speaking of which, I want all of y'all, I want 10 children per family. So get to work, do what you gotta do. There are 90,000 Amish in Pennsylvania alone. Guys, that's the election if we get the Amish to vote. And think about it for a second. What do the Amish agree with? Homeschooling, religious freedom, bodily autonomy to not be forced to take a vaccination. And in fact, in their community, they have like a 0.1% autism because they believe in raw milk and healthy living and being able to plant in your garden and have the nutrient-based fruit from that. And so we're reaching out to the Amish. In fact, I know this might sound a little weird, but an Amish farmer the other day, he invited me to milk his cow. And so I went to his farm and I hand milked a cow at an Amish farm in Pennsylvania. We are actively, we're actively courting the vote, and it's working. These people are getting registered and they've never voted ever in their entire life. But get this. Some of you may say, Scott, one day, one vote, one paper ballot. The Amish, there's this stigma that they shouldn't be voting. So when I tell them that I can have a ballot mailed to their house privately, secretly, and they don't have to see the whole town doesn't have to see a buggy going to a polling location, they go, wow, I'm really interested in being able to vote privately and secretly. And furthermore, did you know that the Amish get married on Tuesdays in November? They get married on Tuesdays in November. What happens on Tuesdays in November? So you know what? Wouldn't it be karmic if a God-fearing, family-loving, constitutional, homeschooling, bodily autonomy community voted by mail and elected Donald Trump as our next president? That would be the ultimate karmic. And furthermore, Joe Biden won Wisconsin by 20,000 votes. There are 20,000 Amish in Wisconsin as well. So we're doing both communities and both states that could very well win the presidential election. Let's move on. There are 80,000 truckers in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now, did you know that there are 3.5 million truckers nationwide, and only half of this community votes? Only half of those 3.5 million votes. 75% of that community is going to vote for Donald Trump. And furthermore, we just found a video from 2019 where Joe Biden said, quote, "Any trucker with an 8th grade or high school education is going to be out of a job." He said that. We're gonna publicize this for the next few years. We're gonna publicize this. And on July 11th through 13th, we will be at the Iowa 80 truck stop, reaching thousands of truckers at the jamboree that they're having. And I know that we have families here and we have children, so please don't throw tomatoes at me. But the name of this campaign is Truck Joe Biden. It's my goal to still remain classy, so I hope I didn't offend anybody. But let me tell you, the truckers, they love it. They love it. So you know what we're doing? We're finding truckers that own their rig, and we're going to slap a big sticker on there, and it's going to have a QR code for all 50 states. So when people are driving, they can register to vote, and it's a moving billboard supporting Donald Trump. Yes, QR code. And so we're going to ship boxes all across the country to Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, even California. These truckers are everywhere. Now think about it. I spoke to a wife of a husband who told me, "Scott, my husband did not vote in 2020. He's a Pennsylvania truck driver." What was he doing on election day? Working. He was serving us. He was making sure that our food is in our stores and our shelves are stacked and we have gas and oil and everything else. Those are the communities that serve us, guys. Think about it. Truckers, police officers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, pilots. Those are all people that are working class America that they may not be able to vote on election day. We must provide them different opportunities and different alternatives to vote. Even our elderly. Did I say our members of the United States military? Guys, if I tell the military that voting by mail is fraudulent, and the only way that the military can vote is by mail, why would the military vote? Why? Why would they vote when they're in Germany and Mexico and all across the world? Why would they vote if we tell them that their vote doesn't count? So please, change your message. And our goal is to lock in every single gosh darn vote. And furthermore, get this. It is abhorrent what Joe Biden is doing with the rising anti-Semitism in the Democratic Party. Oh no, okay, thank you. It's abhorrent what Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing, allowing anti-Semitism to thrive within their party. Get this, there are 750,000 Americans living in Israel. 600,000 of them are eligible to vote. Let's get every single one of them registered to vote and get them a vote by mail, and that could very well win our election when it came down to 60,000 votes in 2020. And so we're working with GOP, Brad, and we're working with the Israeli community there that are Americans, that are citizens. I want to make this very clear. They're citizens. And we're going to get them registered to vote, and we're going to court the Jewish American vote to help save our country and to elect Donald Trump this November. Next, we have, in Pennsylvania, 930,000 hunters. Now this is going to blow your mind, because you know what? Some people, they probably think I'm crazy. They're like, "Scott, why would you go to the Wildwood, New Jersey rally to register voters? Everybody's registered." No, that is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. Only 15% of Trump rally goers are not registered to vote. Why would we miss out on that opportunity? Do the math. 15% of 80,000 people that attended Wildwood, that could very well swing an election. That could very well, in some instances, swing a state right there. And so, did you know 40% of Wisconsin hunters are not registered to vote. Listen, I didn't say 14, I said 40! 40! So you know what we're doing? We're going to a website, you may want to write this down, gunshowtrader.com. Gunshowtrader.com has every single gun show for all 50 states for all of 2024. And we're having a presence at those gun shows. Because if we simply get gun owners and if we get hunters registered and mobilized to vote, we will win every single election from now on. And in Pennsylvania, 1/3 of that community is not registered to vote. And like I said, 930,000 hunters in Pennsylvania. That is the election. So, did you guys see what happened with those brave college students down at UNC Chapel Hill? We're going to start, we've already been doing college campuses, but now we are courting the frat boy vote. And we are going to fraternity houses, and we are getting those frat boys registered. Because get this, I know some of you are probably not going to be happy that I'm saying this, but if it's lawful, it's lawful. If a student is from Delaware, bless his heart, and he's going to school at Penn State University in Pennsylvania, he may register to vote where he's going to school. We have to do a better job of discerning those conservative students that are from Vermont and Rhode Island and Connecticut and New York and get them registered in Arizona if they're going there, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and make sure that their vote is going to count more. And so I've already heard from the Penn State GOP college Republicans, and we will be working with them this fall to have a presence with the fraternity brothers. And last, and I don't mean to be offensive, maybe I do. No, I had this veteran, he's an amputee, and he reached out to me, and he goes, Scott, you know, I served my country, I served it honorably, I lost a limb for the country. He goes, I see what's happening, that we had peace under President Trump, and now we're on the verge of nuclear war. Now we're on the verge of war with China and Iran and Russia and with the Palestinian Authority, and who else knows what Joe Biden's going to get our mess into. He said, it won't be offensive to me if you use me as a prop, and I'm willing to go to college campuses with my prosthetic limb and show college students the real tragedy of war, and go out there with a sign right on college campus that says, a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for war. Are you willing to lose a limb like I have for the country? God bless them. God bless them. So we're going to be working with Chad, with Veterans for Donald Trump, or Veterans for America First, and we're going to have amputee veterans at college campuses to show the real tragedy of war at college campuses in swing states like Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Guys, this election is it. Leave no gosh darn stone unturned. And to give you an example of how a little neurotic and crazy I am, on Friday, we're going to be visiting the Crook County Jail. Did I say that correctly? Have I learned, you guys? Yeah. I have learned. It's not Cook County, it's Crook County. So get this, and a lot of you might be scratching your head. You go, Scott, no, those former felons, we can't allow them to vote. They're just going to vote Democrat. That is baloney. I tell you, I know this sounds weird, but I've been meeting a lot of former felons lately. And the most wholesome way possible. I was at the Philly Expo Center, and this guy, and I mean, he even comes up, he's got dreads, and he's tattooed, and he's got love-hate on his, like, quintessential former felon. And I was like, are you registered to vote? And he's like, I can't vote. And usually that to me means former felon, but I know my rules. As soon as you are out of incarceration in Pennsylvania, your rights are restored. And so I said, no, you can register to vote at your current address. So I got him registered. And it's a closed primary state. And so I'm like, we're a closed primary state in Pennsylvania. You need to pick a party. And he goes, what party is Donald Trump? And I said, Donald Trump's a Republican. And he goes, I'm a Republican. And we got him registered to vote right then and right there. So we're going to be reaching out to this community, these former felons, because think about it. Think about it for a second. This criminal injustice system, this two-tier system, that we have illegal aliens breaking into our country, bringing in fentanyl, doing sex trafficking, that is real. The 14-year-old girl was assaulted in Alabama. This isn't me making this up. This isn't right-wing propaganda. This is reality for families. And yet, we'll reward illegal aliens and we'll lock up Americans. We'll lock up fathers, and we will take away their ability to go to work. We'll take away their license. We won't allow them to even provide for their children. And then we'll take them to court when they can't pay for their children because we took away their license. None of our system makes sense. And so when I'm talking to this community about the fact that, look, if they can go after the most powerful man in the entire world, they can. And if we don't win this November, they will go after every single one of us. So we must take off our blinders. We must bring in new, non-traditional voting blocs into this big tent Republican Party and welcome them in joining together to save our country and to elect Donald J. Trump. Now, why am I here at the Three-Headed Eagle Alliance? Well, number one, because I'm staying at Chad's house, so I have to. Sleeping in his bed, well, not his bed, but sleeping in the guest bed. And you know why I'm here? I'm here because I've seen the videos of the Black community talking about illegal immigration and talking about the fact that illegal aliens are being prioritized and are being given housing. And I think, guys, this is an opportunity for us to court the Black vote, to court the minority vote, to show how many of you believe in the theme of Americans come first? Guys, this is our opportunity. This is our chance to look Black America in the face, to look every minority in the face and go, guys, we are Americans, and my allegiance is to you. And we must put our babies. Why should we have crumbling roads? And why should we have the poorest education system? And why should we not have health care for our people? And why should we be securing Ukraine's border while our border is wide open? I'm telling you, things are changing. Times are changing. And the Black community is asking us, begging us to come talk to them. If we want their vote, how are you ever going to achieve something that you never asked for? How can we ever dare to expect their vote if we don't ask for their vote? And I know you guys are Maz and your dads and your business owners and your members of your community and your society, but I need you guys to get brave. And some of you are going to say, but Scott. No, this is 5 months, guys. This is it. This is it. Do you guys get that? Do you understand our country is on the verge of no longer? This is it. This is on the verge of extinction. I'm not being hyperbolic. I would not be here if I did not give a darn. I'm here because I want to save my country. And I'm here because I see potential and I see opportunity. I could be anywhere. I could be in one of the swing states. No, I'm here in the greater Chicago area because I see a real potential to break through the propaganda, to lift that veil. So, how are we going to do it? Well, today we visited with the J6 prisoner. We visited with somebody that was incarcerated, that is now on probation, who is now going to be going out into the Black community and asking for votes and earning votes. We also, tomorrow, we're going to be going over to Trump Tower with Dr. Cornell. Not Dr. Cornell West, not that one. A different Cornell, a different one. And we're going to go to Black-owned businesses throughout Chicago, going from door to door to door, asking for their votes, talking about our peaceful prosperity and America First message. And on Friday, keep it a secret. Keep it secret. We're going to the Cook County Jail, and we are actually going in for a tour, and we're going to talk to some of the people there, and we're going to get them registered to vote, and we're going to make sure that they have an opportunity to make their voices heard this November. I know it sounds silly, but I need you guys to do simple acts. Like, please, wear your MAGA stuff out. Wear it proudly. Wear your Trump gear, your Trump 45, wear it to the supermarket, wear it to the gas station. We've been doing a lot of gas station voter registration, right? Think about opportunities where you can go to Home Depot and Walmart and Lowe's and Cabela's and Boot Barn and any opportunity to meet working class America, because this is great. I'm so glad you guys are here. But imagine for a second, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being disrespectful. We're at a country club. We have to go to the people. The people are not going to come to us. I'm not being mean, I promise. So try to think of every opportunity, guys, please. You know, it sounds so stupid, but I was at a gas station the other day, and I paid for my gas, and I was just like, Scott, you need to do more. So even after I pay the lovely young woman, as I'm leaving, I just say, I hope you'll consider Trump this November. And she gave me a little sly smile. Every person you meet, every encounter you have, at the supermarket, at the bar, wherever you go, ask for every vote for our president. And I want you guys to know how dedicated and how serious I am. I just bought a house in Pennsylvania. I'm spending my life savings to move to PA because I want my vote to help elect Donald Trump in the swing state of the Commonwealth. So I ask you for your time. I ask you, even if it's downloading my application, Early Vote Action, and you want to write some postcards, if you want to send some text messages like we are to young, registered Democrat males. And you know what we're saying to them? Our message is, young men have the most to lose this November. No more wars, vote for peace, consider Donald Trump. And you would think that we would get a lot of expletives. You would think that we would get a lot of middle fingers or worse. We're getting text messages back from young registered Democrat males in Philly that say, I am considering Donald Trump. Tell me more. Never, like, do I look like a Republican? No, you can say it. You can say it. I don't look like a Republican. I want you guys to take off, again, the rose-colored glasses, the blinders. Every person is an opportunity to help save our country. And with that being said, I want to thank the Three-Headed Eagle Alliance. You know, they call me the persistence. Debbie Doulis, that woman is persistent. That woman has been reaching out to me for like months and months, and Debbie, baby, I am finally here. Thank you to Chad for allowing me to see it as home. Thank you to the Three-Headed Eagle Alliance, and guys, please do everything within your gosh darn power to make sure that we're electing Donald J. Trump this November. Thank you guys. Oh yeah, questions. I thought I was done. Sorry.
Question. What do we do about all the illegals that are coming in? They're already already coming into St. Charles. Now, these are coming already into the census, so basically they're already voters. Because your electoral college is based on the consensus in the number of people in your state. So I guess our only choice then is to get out and vote as many people as we can, as you said.
She did. You, my babe, just did a question and an answer all in one, and I love that. So let's break it down. No, I love that. Thank you. And I'm with levity because it's a very serious topic. You know, when they were doing that Have Act thing, and they were talking about all of the number of times the Social Security number was asked for, I immediately reached out to Corey Mills. I immediately reached out to Ana Klina Luna, and I immediately reached out to a third member former member of Congress. And I want to let you know, some of those fears are, let's just say that it's not happening to the extent that some people on social media would have you believe that it's happening. And so, now Corey Mills said the census thing though, you hit the nail on the head. The census though is what their strategy is, to pull congressional seats like Illinois, you guys lost a seat, right? Yeah. New York lost a seat, I think. California lost a seat. And we should have had more gains in Florida. We should have had more gains in Texas. But because of the amount of heads that were counted because of the census, we don't have as many congressional seats. But at the end of the day, guys, we have to realize they're going to cheat. We know they're going to cheat. This is too big to rig. This is, guys, I'm sorry, no excuses. This is no excuses. Think about 2020 for a second. They threw everything they could at Donald Trump, and they still only won the election by 60,000 votes. Things have changed since then. We don't have universal mail-in balloting like we did before. And let me give you a little bit of statistics for a second that should make you feel better. In Pennsylvania, in the last 7 days, the Democrats had a net loss of 4,000 voters in 7 days. Now, let's break that down because that doesn't sound like a lot. You're gonna be like, Scott, 4,000, what's that? Joe Biden won by 80,000. The Democrats lost 1/20th of what they won by in 7 days. That is power, guys. Nevada is only 30,000 voters away from flipping from blue to red. North Carolina, we have cut in half the Democrat deficit in 2 years. And Arizona, we have added 150,000 new Republican voters in the great state 48. So, where I'm going with this is I understand how everybody can look at the bad. I'm asking very graciously, let's focus on the positive, and let's focus on what we can do, and let's focus on how we're actually going to win this November. But thank you for your question and your answer.
Scott, I had the pleasure of speaking with you the other day at Chad's house, and I've always believed vote on voting the day of the election for a number of reasons. And I have to admit to this whole crowd, your reason for voting early is extremely compelling, things that I would never have thought of, and I want to publicly thank you. I'm going to apologize, but I have to eat crow, and I will be voting early. I thank you very much for what you've done here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gab and Scott. How do we know about what's going on in Wisconsin where we can help? I mean, that's a sweet state.
Yes.
How do we keep up on it?
Yes. Okay, so we're just across from Kenosha, right? Kenosha is like the biggest city right there. I tell you, I know the chairwoman. Her name is Sandy Widmeyer. And if any of you would like to get connected with Miss Sandy, I will personally connect you. And in fact, you know what we have people doing with my app, Early Vote Action, which is mine, and it's free. We have people writing postcards. Marcella, I want to give a shout out to Marcella. She's a grandma in California. She's written 1,000 handwritten postcards to Pennsylvania voters. 1,000. And a postcard has a 25% return on investment. So when you write 4 letters, one of those is going to turn into a registered voter and a registered Republican. So we can do texting for people that can't travel, don't have the ability to go to Wisconsin. We have phone calling. We have, I said texting, postcards, phone calls. And then for people that are local, we have door knocking. So if anybody would like me to connect you with Chairwoman Sandy Widmeyer of Kenosha, Wisconsin, I'm happy to do that after this event with y'all.
Hey, Scott, thank you for being here. I am an owner-operator. How do I get a QR code for our truck?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Okay, so you own your rig, and you'll slap a sticker on it? Oh my gosh. You understand what you've done for me? You just made me a very happy man.
We've been in touch with Disrespected Trucker.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. I'm talking to him. He's wonderful.
Yes.
In Michigan.
Yes, and he said he's
Oh, babe. I was just on the phone with him. I'm gonna send him, I say that lovingly, I know you probably have a man, but I'm gonna send him a box of the QR code stickers. And I'm happy to do one for you, so you see me after, girlfriend, and we're gonna talk, and we're gonna get you a QR code for your owner-operator vehicle. Beautiful. She just said her husband will help disperse the stickers. Let's go. I love that.
Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your relationship with the Trump organization and Laura Trump, and how are you working with them to promote?
Thank you. That's a great question. So, story time. So, listen, we're about moving forward. We're not here to delve into past issues. Let's just say the previous RNC, I had a difficult time speaking with them. I reached out to them for 304 days. Peacefully, nicely. And look, I'm a nice guy. And you know how you said 3,000 people liked your tweet about the Three-Headed Eagle Alliance? Every reply I did had like thousands and thousands, so nobody could say they didn't see it. Anyway, to give you a difference between the previous RNC and this one, within 7 days of Laura Trump becoming RNC co-chair, she called me. Actually, get this. So, Benny Johnson, do you guys know Benny?
Yeah.
It's great. He did an interview with Laura where she said they wanted to, have me help with ballot harvesting and all that kind of stuff. I'm trending on X. I'm like trending, like my name is out there. And then I get a call from Laura. She's not like, it says Laura Trump on my phone. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I stopped everything I was doing. And she's like, Scott, how you doing? I said, well, Laura, I'm trending on Twitter. And she said, we so value the work that you're doing. You were just an integral part of our victory this November, and I want to have you come into the RNC. And so it was a little delayed for a moment because she had to do, vacation with her family because families matter. And so NBC wrote this horrible hit piece, and because they said, oh, they're not going to hire Scott Presler. And I had to sit on this. I had to wait on it, and I did because I wanted to be respectful of Laura, of the RNC, whatever. So this hit piece is out there for 2 weeks. And guys, what are we doing? We go all day and we go, oh my gosh, CNN is fake news. We know that. MSNBC is fake news. We know that. Why were people believing an NBC article? So anyway, everyone was mad, and they're like, Scott, what's happening with Laura? And then I meet with her and I take the picture and I reply to the NBC article and I just say something to the effect of fake news, whatever. But I do want to thank Elon Musk. He kind of changed my life. He has monetized Twitter that I can actually now receive a living that I haven't been receiving for the last 5 years. which, by the way, will go to conditioner. Because we go through a lot of conditioner at my house. But you know what? My monetization after the NBC article, the hit piece, it got so many people directed to my profile, directed to Scott Presler, millions and millions, that those 2 weeks after, I received the highest payout I've ever received from X. You know what I did? Oh, because I'm nice, but I do like to stir the pot a little bit. And so I replied to NBC after this whole debacle was over, the whole thing, and I said, NBC, I want to publicly thank you.
Yes.
I received the biggest payout I've ever received, and thanks to you for my new home that I'm buying to help elect Trump. I'm buying a hot tub. So, one day when I have this beautiful hot tub outside of my house, I'm going to get a little plaque. And the plaque is going to say, sponsored by NBC. Let's go. Anyway, moral of the story, we are cooperating, and Laura Trump was just at the California GOP meeting where she publicly thanked me, and so we have the same goal. I'm staying with my organization. I've worked for the last 2 years. I'm loyal to my team. I'm loyal to my people, but we have the same goal of electing Donald Trump, so we're going to look for whatever legal and lawful method there is to work together. Thank you. But I had to share that. It was too good.
Just a quick question. I think I read something not too long ago that you were working to help get Cornel West on the ballot in North Carolina. And is that true? And what other outside of the box kind of things are you doing like that?
Well, this is top secret. Look. Yes. It's top secret. But think about it. Let's talk about the reason why it's so important. Look, if we believe in democracy, and if we believe in being democratic and having choices, then shouldn't we have more people on the ballot? And think about it for a second. Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina. Did you see what happened in Kentucky? The uncommitted vote? Yep. Because Joe Biden is now forced between Iraq and a hard place. He's forced between choosing the Jewish community and the Palestinian Authority, Hamas people. And so that dichotomy is causing so much friction that a lot of people aren't going to support Donald Trump. And you know what? Dr. Jill Stein is an option for people that don't like Joe Biden. Dr. Cornel West is an option. RFK Jr. is an option. And I welcome more people to the ballot for the sake of democracy.
Any other questions? Oh, I see one more.
But that was a good one.
One more over here.
Uh-oh. I'm scared.
So with your early vote action app, is it more focused on like swing states and electing Trump specifically, or is it also is there also an option to doing campaigning in other states, like including but not limited to this one and other candidates?
Thank you. No, great question. And thank you. Are you Gen Z or a millennial?
Gen Z.
Excellent.
Gen Z.
We got Gen Z in the house. So my app, I want to make it clear, I'm clearly here in Illinois with you guys, and so I want you to know I see you, I value you, I'm acknowledging you with my time, and not disrespectfully, yes, my 5 key states are Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. And so, I'm here to win. This is 270, this is winning the White House. And so, while we're working to help our wonderful candidates here, like the gentleman that spoke so beautifully about our Constitution, and while we have state representative and etc., if we have extra spare time, I do humbly ask you to help Wisconsin. But this door knocking is local. So if you go to the Early Vote Action app, it says voters near me, and it's every registered Republican based on your current vicinity. And so how many of y'all are precinct chairs or state committee people? Excellent, thank you. So if you guys want to increase your volunteer base, if you want more volunteers, I have every registered Republican in your neighborhood that you can build up your state committee, you can build up your precinct chair, your precinct captain, whatever. So to answer your question, yes, this is available. We have L2 data for all 50 states. And in fact, one last thing. If you guys have a special campaign you want to run, like for example, we're targeting the Jewish community in Pennsylvania, and we're sending the postcards and a text that says, for example, Joe Biden is funding Hamas. 4 years ago, we had peace in the Middle East. The Jewish community deserves protection here in Brad. Consider Trump this November. And so that has been really successful, that if you guys have a target audience that you want to reach out to, whether it's in another state or here in Illinois, I can upload it for you easily on the app, and we can have our own Kane County or DuPage County or Chicago. We can do whatever you want. Just see me after, and I'm happy to help you out. So thank you for your question, and thank you for Gen Z for being here. Oh, yes. Can you introduce yourself?
Pat Fullhard, I live in unincorporated Geneva, and I want to know about ballot harvesting.
Sure.
Okay, I want to win any way we can, so.
I like this gal. We had a little bit of a rough start, but I like this gal. So, what is ballot harvesting? What is ballot chasing? I know semantics is difficult and a whole bunch of things, or people are saying a whole bunch of different things. So basically, ballot harvesting is when a third party, like if I came to your door and I asked for your ballot and I took it, that's ballot harvesting. That's a third party coming in to take your ballot. Now, in some states it's legal. Now, who is an election judge here? Can you tell me how many is it legal for the state of Illinois? I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's a finite number for Illinois. Do you guys know? Anyway, it's legal in some states, finite. Like in other states, there are no prohibitions on it. For example, let's go over Nevada for a second. Nevada is one of my 5. We will be ballot harvesting in Nevada. What does that mean? That means that every registered voter receives a mail-in ballot, whether or not he or she has requested one in the state of Nevada. Now, there are no prohibitions on ballot harvesting. So if I want to have a Scott Presler Nevada ballot box, I can go from door to door to door and collect as many ballots as I want, like Republicans are doing in California, like we won with Michelle Steele, like we won with Valadeo, like we won with Young Kim. We did ballot harvesting in California, and it turned into victories. Now, other states are different. For example, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, you must request a ballot or be on the permanent mail-in ballot list to receive one. Now, in the great state of Arizona, the great state 48, we can't ballot harvest. So you know what the Democrats do? The Democrats will say, Pat, what's your name? Pat. They'll say, Pat, did you get your ballot? You're going to say, yes, I did. Why don't you go inside, Pat? You go fill out your ballot, do it in the privacy and comfort of your home, and when you're done, you come out to me. And then what we'll do is we'll be like, hey, Pat, why don't you walk with me over to the mailbox? Or I'll drive you over to the county recorder office or whatever. So technically, it never touched my hands. I never took it, but I chased your ballot as opposed to harvesting your ballot. Does that make sense? So that's what Democrats do. There's no secret sauce. It's just knock on a door, you get them to fill out their ballot, you either bring it to the mailbox or you drive them to the polling location. That's what the Democrats do, and that's why we need more volunteers. We need more people to be a part of the process, to do the door knocking and phone calling and texting and everything else that is required in order to win elections. Did I explain that in a way that's understandable? Okay, thank you. And this time she did not give an answer. I love you.
We would like to thank Scott for coming tonight. Yes, I did go after him for a long time. I started last October and I said, I know it's not a swing state, but we need you here in Illinois. We need to get people motivated. So he came tonight, so now it's incumbent on all of you to get motivated, because he came for us. So we want to say thank you to Scott for coming and taking time out of his busy schedule